Well, hey out there, Carnivore YouTube friends. It's me, Bradford, your Carnivore curmudgeon. And yes, still a carnivore. No, still not a curmudgeon, mostly. Thought I'd bring you another video on my best bite this week. If you watched last week, you saw that I had a lot of good food like I usually do. And my favorite bite of the week last week was this rolled lamb loin roast. I just couldn't get enough of it. It was so delicious and unctuous and fatty. And of course this week I had what was left, which was not much, just a few ounces and some creamy eggs. Just really hit the spot with it. And as most of us, I expected this week, I had some steak and eggs several times. Always delicious. I never get tired of it. And one day I did have the fortune to find some country-style pork ribs on sale. And I splurged a little bit with some sugar-free barbecue sauce. I don't know that it really helped that much. Had some chicken with it, some chicken livers and an egg, so kind of the whole tour of the farm there in a way. Made a chuck roast last week, which always goes good with runny eggs. So had that a few times. And I found these thin ribeyes that were really quite a bargain on sale. And so I pan fried them. Since they were so thin, I thought they would just burn up in the auto wild. So a little Wagyu fat, and they made a tasty treat. But my favorite bite this week was a sirloin tip roast. Super easy to make. And if you don't undercook it or overcook it, it's delicious. It's tender, but you do have to cut it with a knife, but it's not chewy unless, as I said, you undercook it or overcook it. Just a few spices on there, some thyme, some rosemary, and some salt and parsley on it. Just a little something to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, and into a 350-degree oven. Now mine says 360 because it tends to run a little bit cold. And I put an internal probe in this roast so that I could keep track of the temperature and pull it as soon as it reached 135 degrees. And when it was done, it came out plump and succulent and juicy, and it really couldn't have looked or smelled any better. So I set it down and let it rest for, I guess it was about 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the most. And then it was time to carve. Carved it nice and thin because it has so little fat in it that you want to carve it thin, and then you want to slice it up and eat it thin as well, because it can be chewy if you get too big of bites. But it was beefy and delicious, and I put a little bit of extra Wagyu fat on it when I served it on my plate. Also ate it with some eggs, just for a little bit of egg yolk to dip it in. But steaks are king, no question in my mind. Steaks are king, and some sort of ground beef is right close to second. But for a change up once in a while, this is a really nice cut of meat. And that's why I chose this for my bite of the week for June 5th through the 11th. If you like this little compilation video, give me a quick thumbs up if you don't mind. I'd love to hear what your bite of the week was by leaving a comment in the comments below. Sure appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you next time.